Welcome to another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Newsenda Credit Union. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we're at Albuquerque High School, home of the Bulldogs and their spirited cheer team, and Coach Isaac Casas. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you for having us.
This is a big week for a lot of cheer teams and dance teams all across the state with the state spirit competition coming up. What's the mood like at practice this week? Is it tense, focused, excited? What is it?
I think it's a little bit of everything. These athletes definitely are nervous. They have a lot of drive. I think teams across the state are working hard. It comes down to performing 2.5 to 3 minute routines, and our whole year comes down to this. And so I think it's just a lot of nerves and just wanting to do the best that we can.
So these workouts leading up to it, how do you break it down? How do you focus on one aspect over the other?
So that's a great question, actually. I think a lot of teams work on pieces that they're strong at, and then obviously we put a lot of focus into our aspects of our routine that need a little bit more work.
What goes into a cheer season? Give everyone an idea of the time commitments. I see some of the girls already go.
A little bit longer than normal. We're now going into April. But cheer starts in the summer. You're building your basics, building your foundations for your team that you want to put out there throughout the year so that it can be serve as building blocks for state. Every team practices between 2 to 3 hours, 5 days a week. So it's a lot of commitment. On top of that, these athletes have to focus on their grades, making sure they maintain their grades. They have football games, basketball games, soccer games. You know, they have assemblies, they have other clubs and sports that they're involved in, and so it's a big commitment. As I tell my athletes, it's not meant for everyone, but those that can do it deserve to be here.
How'd you get involved in cheer?
I got involved because I'm actually an alumni of Albuquerque High School. I cheered here. I'm a class of 2001. I did cheer for my years here, and then I turned into a coach. The first time I was here in 2008 through 2011, I was one of the coaches on the last state championship team here in 2010. And I left for about 10 years, and I came back now in 2019, so I've been here for about good 5-6 years.
And so what goes into a state championship performance?
Ooh, it's a lot of hard work. It's blood, sweat, and tears.
Hopefully not too much blood.
It happens, you know, obviously, we don't want a lot, but it does happen. It's a lot of injuries. It's a lot of time commitment. It's also what a lot of people don't see on the backside is our parents, our community, for every team out there. Without parents in our community, none of the teams would be successful. So in order for us to build a state championship program, every team has to have that support behind them.
And so what is your message to this team before they go out onto the pit floor later this week to perform? What's your message to them?
My message to them, and I've told them at every competition this year, is have fun. If you're not having fun on the floor, you'll know it. The teams will know it, the judges will know it, and you won't perform well. So in order for us to do well at state, you have to have fun, you have to love what you do. If not, it wasn't worth it. All
right, well, it looks like you got a fun, energetic, enthusiastic, spirited group, so good luck this week.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Game Time after this. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Hi, my name is Blake.
I'm Layla.
I'm Angelise.
And welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by New Senda Credit Union. The state powerlifting championships are right around the corner. And this ever-growing popular sport brings out some of the most pumped-up student athletes you will come across. Here's a conversation I had with one lifter who is expected to set some heavy metal marks. With me right now, through the magic of the internet, is Alexis Salas from Silver High School. Thanks for joining us, Alexis.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to ask you, how are the preparations going for both state powerlifting and the spring season for state track and field?
They're coming along. Just gotta keep working, and yeah, just keep working and getting stronger, do the techniques right, make sure that I have everything down so I could be successful.
What are your goals for that success, hopefully in state powerlifting this year?
So I'll be in a lower weight class this year so that I can hopefully hold 6 new records instead of the 3 in that one weight class. So I've been cutting for this powerlifting so I could be in a lower weight class, just so people can see my name 6 times.
What interested you in powerlifting in the first place? What appeals to you about it?
I just feel like I'm built for it, and I just love to do it like as a hobby. So knowing as I could do it as a sport and be successful in it, it could help in my life. Like it could help change my life and get me stronger for shot and disc.
Last year at the state powerlifting competition, your deadlift went viral and really exploded.
Yeah.
What did that do for you and recruiting and motivating you?
Oh, that was super crazy, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. Just all the coaches that were recruiting me, I just showed them that video and just say that, hey, I could deadlift this, and it just played a big part in all this recruiting stuff, like because they see how strong I can be.
Well, speaking of recruiting, you eventually committed to the University of Kansas to compete
Yes.
at the next level. What was it about KU that drew you to their program and eventually committed to them?
Just the coach, how committed he is to this and how dedicated and hardworking he is. Like he can help change me and my teammates that signed there too, committed there too. So, and just like the whole university is just super nice, and the team and everybody that I met there is just super nice. And
You said you're going into a different weight class for state powerlifting, so you can hold multiple different records.
yeah.
What kind of grind has that been and a challenge for you this year in training for that?
Well, dropping the weight is probably the hardest part, and like dropping the weight with maintaining the muscle without like losing muscle with losing the weight too. So it's been kind of a challenge, like to eat right, to do everything right, to sleep, to eat right, just to train and keep the muscle so I could be stronger.
So what can we expect from you in a couple of weeks at the state powerlifting? What kind of marks are we looking for?
For squat, my goal was 365. I'm gonna try. That's what I'm hoping for. Bench, who I'm not sure, maybe 185, and deadlift maybe. My goal last year, knowing that I could deadlift 405, was 500, but I'm not too sure if I could get that. So hopefully, like 455, put a little bit of more weight on there.
455 is still a lot of weight.
Yes, especially yes for a girl too.
Let's talk a little bit of track and field for a moment. The discus and the shot that you compete in at state track, defending state champ in both. How does powerlifting help prepare you for that?
It just gets me stronger, knowing like if when I get stronger, it'll help me throw that 8-pound ball farther. It should help, and just all like the techniques that you need to do, like your posture and all that kinds of stuff, just helps like translate it to the ring from the bar and everything.
So this time of year, all these preparations, everything's kind of leading to this in the spring for you. Is it a grind? Is it a lot of work? Are you excited? Is it fun? How would you kind of describe this whole process to kind of where you're at?
It's fun. It's definitely challenging. It's stressful at times. And it's just like a lot of consistent work and hard work, and just I'm always going and doing things. So hopefully to help me get better so I can be back to back to back. So yes.
And lastly, what goes through your mind when you're getting ready for that lift? I know powerlifting, the student athletes get pumped up, they're all enthusiastic. I'm curious to know for you, what goes through your mind just before that lift? What are you thinking? What motivates you? What fires you up?
For me, I just like flip the switch and I just get in that mindset that I can do this. I'd never doubt myself, really. Um, just saying like I have to get it. I have to get it. Like people are watching. Like I have to get it. Like it just like, motivates me. Like I think that's why I pretty much got that 405, just because I had all that adrenaline and energy from all the other different people that were there screaming for me on the floor. And yes, so.
All right. Well, I think in a couple of weeks, we'll be hearing those shouts and your name quite a few times in the coming
Yes.
weeks in both those sports.
Yes, sir.
The state powerlifting competition will take place April 12th and 13th at the Rio Rancho Event Center.
I'm Marisol Barajas.
I'm Annalisa Fernandez.
And I'm Mariah Martinez.
And we'll be back with more game time after this.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Hi, Mr. Flores.
I'm TJ McCarthy.
I'm Aaliyah Campbell.
I'm Soraya Thompson.
Let's check out the latest baseball and softball polls.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Nusenda Credit Union. A couple baseball items to pass along this week. Congratulations to Cleveland pitcher Jaron Vila, who had quite the performance last week. He struck out 19 batters and hit 2 home runs in their 9-1 win over Artesia last week at the Sal Puentes tournament. By the way, the state record for most strikeouts in a game is 21 by Tohatchi's Roland Yazzie back in 2006. We also wanted to recognize Isaac Venzor Prado, a Rio Grande baseball player who recently passed away after his heart stopped during a weekend workout. His family and the team honored Isaac last week by walking his number 26 jersey to first base in a game against El Dorado. He was only 17 years old. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their family and the entire Rio Grande community.
We wanted to honor the family, and we'll make sure that Isaac's never forgotten. You know, he's a great kid, great ball player, and he's going to be missed, but we'll always carry him in our hearts. Use it as a moment to teach our kids to love each other, to be kind to each other, forgive each other, and to always support and be each other's brother.
That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Nusenda Credit Union. We want to thank you for watching this week. Make sure you tune in next week because you never know where we're going to show up and who we're going to talk to. But you do know the place to find the most high school highlights is right here. We'll see you next time on Game Time.